direct stimuli of unnatural personal experiences and adventures. It was this frightful emotional need which led us eventually to that detestable course which even in my present fear I mention with shame and timidity. That hideous extremity of human outrage, the abhorred practice of grave robbing. On October 29th, we found in the soft earth underneath the library window a series of footprints utterly impossible to describe. They were as baffling as the hordes of great bats which haunted the old manor house in unprecedented and increasing numbers. The horror reached a culmination on November 18th, when St. John, walking home after dark from the distant railway station, was seized by some frightful carnivorous thing and torn to ribbons. His screams had reached the house, and I had hastened to the terrible scene in time to hear a whir of wings and see a vague, black, cloudy thing silhouetted against the rising moon. My friend was dying when I spoke to him, and he could not answer coherently. All he could do was to whisper, "The amulet, that damn thing." Then he collapsed, an inert mass of mangled flesh. I buried him the next midnight in one of our neglected gardens and mumbled over his body one of the devilish rituals he had loved in life.
Say, aren't you a little too early?
What do you mean?
I mean, it doesn't seem like you're ready to join us just yet.
Join you? Yeah, no, I'm just passing through.
Folks don't tend to pass through Pottsfield.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's nice here.
Just looking to leave here as fast as possible.
I'll draw first blood, be the first to set it on my cause. Tap all jaws, lay down laws. We take it with jaws, we don't just rust the doors. Here come the D's, time to make pleas a gun toss. In full force, the team go at your main source. My non-Taurus, hit bosses and tank hostage. Your whole setup from the ground up, we lock shit. Blood, your eye, fuck up your optics. Twist the killer instinct, you niggas pop shit. Your nigga know what's the topic. 9-pound, we rocked it. 96 stripe, with more hot shit. Illuminate my team with glow light. Radiation, with no time for patience. Complication, let's get it done right. My click ain't tight. Trapped in the never-ending gun salute life. Jail niggas sending kites in the street. Over some beef that wasn't really cooked. Finish them off, well done me. Said 22 slug to your head. Travel all the way down to your leg. Hey yo, just tell me no. Who's next are gonna be first? The project's front line. And the enemy's one time. I ain't gotta tell you. It's right in front of your eyes. Yo, just tell me no. Who's next are gonna be first? The project's front line. And the enemy is one time. I ain't
to go back to work and keep going. I had stopped work to go into the hospital because I needed some treatment. And if they weren't going to give me a shot or something, I couldn't see how I could possibly go and work again.
There was nothing that you could enjoy?
Absolutely nothing. There was no one I could see that I'd be glad to see. There was nothing anybody could say that would cheer me. Although, as I've said before, I could still tell a joke.
Even then?
Even then I could tell a joke.
And make other people laugh?
Yes. Because I think the reason for that is that I'd always been known to be a joker, and I enjoyed the fact that people enjoyed me telling them jokes. And it would give them a good impression of me. I think that was the reason why I could still, I tried to muster up the strength to tell a story so somebody would notice me.
And you could do it?
And I could do it. Yes, strangely. In fact, some of the nurses remarked, how well I told a story.
And how good-humored you were, I suppose.
Yes. Although others didn't understand me so well and told me to get the wrong look off my face. There was one nurse in particular, of course, I won't mention any names, but there was one nurse in particular who I didn't think really belonged there. Awful like that. Pardon?
Probably she didn't belong there.
Because I was sitting there and my face must have been a mile long, and she more or less criticized me for it. So this much as to say, there's nothing wrong with you. What are you looking so glum about? And I half believe that. I half believe that she was right. There was really nothing wrong with me. All I had to do was be a man and snap out of it.
And that made you feel worse.
That made me feel worse.
That's the sort of thing that people would do, still do quite frequently when somebody is depressed or looks that way and say, oh, well, just snap out of it. And then the person feels worse because they think they should and they can't.
Well, a lot of people, say, oh, I feel kind of depressed today. I think everybody has ups and downs through life, But there's no comparison. I had ups and downs before I ever had one of these depressions of which I'm speaking now. There are no words can describe the difference between it and the ordinary ups and downs that everyone has. Because in these ups and downs through life, you know that, well, tomorrow I'm going to feel better, the sun will be shining, and so on. But when you're in this type of depression I speak of, it doesn't matter whether it's a black of night or whether the sun is shining, whether it's pouring rain, or whether it's snowing or anything else, nothing looks good. It's all blackness. It's very difficult to put a thing like that into words. There's an old saying about this place called hell where bad people go to after they're dead, after they die, that the worst part about hell is not the flames, it's the hopelessness. And I think that is the part of hell that a person in depression really tastes.
The hopelessness.
Hopelessness, that terrible hopelessness comes over. Everything is black. You can see there's nothing cheerful in anything. All I could see was death. For instance, I'd say, what's the use of getting up? What's the use of eating? I'm only going to die someday anyway. What's the use of doing anything? Because it's pointless. It's all going to end in death. Whether I arrange to do it to myself or whether I just sit it out.
trapped in the black drama. You hear the laughter, seconds after that you fade out. You played out, you laid out, your heart nearly gave out. You're lucky that you made out with just a few scars when the beating ends. This music let you breathe again, but evil men will soon be on the receiving end of universal law. I'm calling on the meek and the poor to fight back and never forfeit the day. You have to go to war with forces that are on the corner, 7 continental borders. A mental fortress is essential to absorb this. My sword is a human orb until it orbits in the art of war. Can see grim reaping morbid. And pieces of the lost civilization in the past had my photograph etched inside of pyramids. Laugh at this revelation without 365 days of concentration and 24-hour meditation would be foolishly pagan. I'm ancient as demons, see I stay grim, throwing foes in a pit full of pitfalls to be shaken. Or strapped to the crossroads of hell and innocent, which trapped the sinners in to sell such a sing-sing. I bring grim tidings, tidal your wave are not exciting. Stop biting the dick, start biting your own shit, cause I stick figures that they fat and can't rap real blast. I make them slim fast, looking like stick figures. I'm all that, I back chicks at concerts and shows. Get more panties than hoes and boost Victoria's Secret clothes. Foes his tactic, expose toes at the corners. Kids with cold feet rising full like the veranda. We'll mentally chop your career. This shit is locked down here like penitentiary blocks and tears. Escape out of your ducks every time you hear my name. You better duck feet or catch a fucking face full of duct tape.
Never before so much paralyzing terror.
Though the golden light of late afternoon gave the ancient roofs and decrepit chimneys an air of mystic loveliness and peace, I could not help glancing over my shoulder now and then. I would surely be very glad to get out of malodorous and fear-shadowed Innsmouth.
These laws include many important local ordinances, such as new neighbors must interact without facing one another for at least 1 year after moving next to each other. The mandatory attendance of Mass at the underground church every Thursday. And the mandatory return of all books to the local library 1 week after obtaining them, no matter where you initially got them from. We certainly hope these important laws will remain in effect. After all, nobody knows what may happen once we stop following them. This has been the local news.
Thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, power, and glory forever. Amen.
There's only so much I can say, and I chose to go against the grain. It show's been sowing since the day I woke up. In spite of no J flowing in these veins, foreboding close enough to taste. I feel the locusts in the place my throat's cut. Hallowed be thy name, hallowed be thy name. That shadows preordained, the gallows feet on babes. Hallowed be thy name, hallowed be thy name. Nobody sing my praise, how shallow be my grave.
Among strange influences, Lavinia was fond of wild and grandiose daydreams and singular occupations. Nor was her leisure much taken up by household cares in a home from which all standards of order and cleanliness had long since disappeared. There was a hideous screaming which echoed above even the hill noises and the dogs barking on the night Wilbur was born, but no known doctor or midwife presided at his coming. Neighbors knew nothing of him till a week afterward, when old Whately drove his sleigh through the snow into Dunwich Village and discoursed incoherently to the group of loungers at Osborne's general store. There seemed to be a change in the old man, an added element of furtiveness in the clouded brain which subtly transformed him from an object to a subject of fear, though he was not one to be perturbed by any common family event. Amidst it all, he showed some trace of the pride later noticed in his daughter, and what he said of the child's paternity was remembered by many of his hearers years afterward. The only persons who saw Wilbur during the first month of his life were old Zechariah Whately of the undecayed Whateleys and Earl Sawyer's common-law wife, Mamie Bishop. Mamie's visit was frankly one of curiosity, and her subsequent tales did justice to her observations. But Zechariah came to lead a pair of Alderney cows which old Whately had bought of his son Curtis. This marked the beginning of a course of cattle buying on the part of small Wilbur's family, which ended only in 1928 when the Dunwich horror came and went. Yet at no time did the ramshackle Whately barn seem overcrowded with livestock. There came a period when people were curious enough to steal up and count the herd that grazed precariously on the steep hillside above the old farmhouse, and they could never find more than 10 or 12 anemic, bloodless-looking specimens. Evidently some blight or distemper, perhaps sprung from the unwholesome pasturage of the diseased fungi and timbers of the filthy barn, caused a heavy mortality among the Whately animals. Odd wounds and sores, having something of the aspect of incisions, seemed to inflict the visible cattle, and once or twice during the earlier months, certain callers fancied they could discern similar sores about the throats of the gray, unshaven old man and his slatternly, crinkly-haired albino daughter. In the spring after Wilbur's birth, Lavinia resumed her customary rambles in the hills, bearing in her disproportioned arms the swarthy child. Public interest in the Whateleys subsided after most of the country folk had seen the baby, and no one bothered to comment on the swift development which that newcomer seemed every day to exhibit. Wilbur's growth was indeed phenomenal, for within 3 months of his birth he had attained a size and muscular power not usually found in infants under a full year of age. His motions and even his vocal sound showed restraint and deliberateness highly peculiar in an infant, and no one was really unprepared when at 7 months he began to walk unassisted, with falterings which another month was sufficient to remove. It was somewhat after this time, on Halloween, a great blaze was seen at midnight on the top of Sentinel Hill, where the old table-like stone stands amidst its tumulus of ancient bones. Considerable talk was started when Silas Bishop of the undecayed bishops mentioned having seen the boy running sturdily up that hill ahead of his mother about an hour before the blaze was remarked. Silas was rounding up a stray heifer, but he nearly forgot his mission when he fleetingly spied the 2 figures in the dim light of his lantern. They darted almost noiselessly through the underbrush, and the astonished watcher seemed to think they were entirely unclothed. Afterward, he could not be sure about the boy, who may have had some kind of a fringed belt and a pair of dark trunks or trousers on. Wilbur was never subsequently seen alive and conscious without complete and tightly buttoned attire.
In our dying world, no one is cruel, nor unjust. We're struggling for survival. We kill or we die. There's no other choice.
Some things are more beautiful in death.